In unfortunate events news.
Oh, David.
Submitted by Achu. A man was stuck in quicksand for hours, then had to brave a winter storm.
Wasn't that in a movie? The guy's name is Achu.
What the fuck?
Really?
Chinese?
Achu?
No, it was like a sneeze, and then it's like that became somebody's name. Achu.
I didn't ask for his name. I asked for yours. Achoo.
Achoo.
Achoo. Isn't it? I killed myself.
That sounds like a racist joke.
How did the Chinese guy get his name?
Was he a Chinese guy?
Okay, keep going.
So this dude is in quicksand?
Because I thought you were saying that the quicksand and the storm, the guy's name was Achu in a movie, so I got confused.
I always tried to make quicksand as a kid.
Me too.
I always pretended like the sandbox was quicksand. We're like,
You ever fill it up with water and try to make it into quicksand?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, I would carry the water in my mouth, and then me and my friends, we would do that because we didn't have cups or anything, and we would look at each other and we're like, wah! And then we laugh, and we don't end up ever making it.
Oh, you gotta
to the
make it in your
sandbox.
backyard.
You gotta get a hose.
We didn't have sand.
You gotta get a hose.
Dirt.
This is
quick
at
dirt.
school.
You gotta do quick dirt.
This 34-year-old man and a woman he was with, they were hiking at Zion National Park in Utah.
I want to go
I wanna
there.
go there.
It looks beautiful.
We should drive there and go off-roading there.
They have quicksand there?
So that's when this man's leg got stuck in quicksand.
You're not supposed to panic, right? You're supposed to just...
So they do have quicksand there.
Yeah, so apparently it's impossible for you to drown in quicksand, like for you to get below the surface
Impossible?
if you don't move. But if you're struggling, bless you.
Chew.
Yeah, achoo.
Then you can somehow fuck up and then drown.
She could be like this.
So you just gotta chill out if you get caught in it.
Yeah, just wait
Don't
for some
move.
help.
She go, help, help.
Yeah, so luckily he was with someone. So this woman, she hiked out for about 3 hours to try to get service and stuff and try to get some help.
I'll be back in 7 hours.
She's like, oh,
But
fuck,
before
I
she
know
left
I'm going.
though, she did leave him with warm gear and clothing.
I hope she's good with directions, because what if she gets help and she goes, fuck, I forgot how to get there.
What if she laid all the warm gear and all that and shit, like in the quicksand too, and it's like...
Everything's just going down.
If Nikki was in the quicksand and she was like, you have to navigate back, she'd be like, I know you're not gonna ever see me again. You will not be able to navigate back here. And I'll be like, I know, baby, I fucking loved you so fucking much.
You fucking kissed her goodbye.
I would kiss her goodbye. I have no idea how to get back.
Are you bad with directions?
Very bad. I'd probably do something really stupid, like drag a stick behind me, but then it all gets covered up from a winter storm, and then I'm like, well, that's a goddamn bitch, isn't it?
You're like sitting there with the park ranger and you're like, well, shit.
I'm like, well, it's fine because I tracked it with this stick. I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking raining. Oh my god, where did this come from?
Or like, you're like trailing behind with sand. Like, don't worry, I laid a trail of sand behind me. It's like, bitch, we're in the desert.
Or he was probably like, all right, the last bit of food that we got, I'm just gonna take pieces of it. I'm gonna make a trail so that I know how to get back.
Will the animals eat it?
And I'm like, following you? And I'm like, don't worry, we're in the desert. There's very few animals, and then it's all eaten.
It's like a little quail that's like fucking following you.
A little desert squirrel and shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
added
so then
directions.
finally a search and rescue team began hiking to find the man and woman.
By the way, if you want a solution, take off your t-shirt, rip little pieces, tie it to things.
But what about your survival?
That's assuming it's not cold.
Freeze
Yeah.
to death.
Well, if you, yeah, I mean, in the
by the
daytime.
time the
Or if you have
water
multiple
comes
layers.
out-
If you have multiple layers.
If not, then take off your underwear, go commando and do
Hell yeah.
And if you're
if you have
Tiff,
a
you
thong,
take off your hair,
that's difficult.
and you have plenty of blue hair to go around.
I'd
Oh
be
my
down.
god.
I'd be down.
That's survival as fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Too bad it's not orange. That would be way more survival.
You fucked up.
I should
Yeah.
dye it before I go hike.
You should.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You just go as all these other chicks with orange hair. You guys prepared? I'm prepared.
And dude, after Fifth
just
Element,
wear wigs.
after Fifth Element, that's a hot fucking look.
Or if you got IBS, just take a shit every few miles.
Now you're bragging.
That's what dogs do, actually.
All right, so then
do that, you're
search and rescue, they found the woman. She was showing signs of hypothermia.
Oh,
shit.
And so they treated her. Then several hours passed before they could find the man. And so by the time they found him, he was described as stable but suffering from exposure, hypothermia, and extremity injuries.
Why are they in the cold?
I mean, it's cold there.
Just
I don't
hiking.
know. They were hiking. So
That's
they were-
dangerous.
So they were saying that the man had been exposed in water for 10 hours, and then it took several more hours into the night before his leg was freed.
Because the storm came in, so he was in.
Well, so hold on. So then once the Rangers rewarmed and treated his leg, That's when the winter storm started, and it brought 4 additional inches of snow. And so the rangers and the man had to spend the night at the site because now they were stuck.
I hope they brought camping things.
I'm sure they were prepared.
I hope so.
Yeah, and so
They didn't have a helicopter?
So then that's when the next day, once the storm passed, because they need to have visibility, that's when the helicopter came.
Oh, well, at least it was just one day.
At least it feels good too to have more company. Like if really guys suck, you're like, oh, at least they got 2 rangers.
Yeah,
with
And
me.
they got him out.
What if one guy was like panicky and he's like, oh shit, we're gonna fucking die. And he starts like killing people so he can eat them?
What? So true.
That guy should have never been a search and rescue.
It's a logical question though that we should all ask.
He's like, oh shit, we're gonna be stuck here forever. All right, we're gonna pull sticks. They're like, why?
Yeah, we just got here.
Everyone's eating.
We just ate a full meal.
You know, it's like there's enough rations. That's only enough for 365 days.
He's like, we have to kill somebody now, dismember them now so we have meat.
This thing kind of happened to me. We're a few years ago in Big Bear. This is like right after it was raining. So like any part of dirt that had, any part of dirt was like really mushy, and the Big Bear Lake kind of dried up a little bit. So while we're waiting for the other party to come,
I was against this whole thing.
next to our cabin, we're just like, what should we do? I'm like, well, the only logical thing to do is to go off-roading. And then since half of the Big Bear Lake dried up from my eyes, I was like, I'm just gonna drive across the lake. That'll be so fucking
I
badass.
love it.
So I'm right there, I gas the car, I'm ready
We
to
have
go.
a picture, dude.
This was last year or something? Recent?
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I floor the car, I go right into the lake, and immediately just get stuck. Because it's thick mud, right? So my tires are fucking buried into the fucking thing. And I'm like, oh fuck! I tried to put in reverse, just fucking spitting like mud out. And
Keep sinking?
yeah, and I let the dogs jump out. The dogs. No, so I might as well let them run around.
But you were gonna go off-roading with the dogs inside?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like this. It was just like a bunch of flat dirt.
Flatbed.
And then so the dogs jump out, and they immediately jump out and sink into the mud, and the mud is like on their chest.
And then to top that off, so we're stuck in the middle. This stupid, you know how big his fucking truck is. These fucking idiots in the middle, and we're just waiting, right? So then off from a distance, there's a bunch of docks. Nadim and the whole crew, they finally get there. And then Nadim's like, you know, being Nadim and trying to help us. So he runs to us, jumps off the dock, and then immediately he sinks in the fucking dirt up to here.
So he just jumps anyway.
Anyway,
Fuck! That's how deep the mud was?
Yes.
To his thighs?
yes. And then he was stuck too, so all the guys are trying to pull his ass out. He loses his shoe in the mud, and we're like,
How did we never hear this story?
And then,
You
and
probably
then what's
did.
crazy is, so the tow truck people came, so they're like professional Big Bear like tower people, right?
they called him a dummy.
So yeah, he called me a dummy. He comes in this fucking crazy off-road looking Jeep, and he comes in, he has like these waders, and he comes all the way up to me, hooks me with this metal cable thing, and the minute he turns the winch on, which is the thing that rolls the metal cable back into the Jeep gets pulled into the mud too, because my truck was just so stuck, and now his big ass fucking tires are also in the mud, and then so we have 2 off-road cars in the mud, so we have to call another tow truck, and then this one was like super like dually like monster looking thing.
Great.
So it has these, so it stays on land, and then it puts like these 2 like metal legs,
lift up.
so it's like a giant bipod.
That's
and then you have to run that
See the
line
shit,
to
like,
come
go through?
to pull the Jeep, and then the Jeep to pull my car.
They charge you for all that?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I had to pay like $1,700.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's for 2 companies?
Yes.
Yeah, so I pulled that thing pulled
And
my
a
car.
ticket.
Damn, on top of a
What's the
ticket.
ticket for?
Well, the cop ended up
Well,
coming.
because that's illegal to go into a lake.
He's like, you're not allowed
That's
to
private
drive
property.
into a lake, and I was like, technically, it's not a lake because there's no water.
Yeah, he's like, you can't.
So how did the cop know? Did someone call?
Because everyone's funny. Got
do you mean?
saw 3 trucks.
I think the whole town probably came out.
Yeah, it's such a
What the
small.
fuck is
You know when
going
you're
on?
driving up to Big Bear and it's that little town with a big ass. That's where our dumbasses were in that thing.
Are you talking about the one that's on the left?
There's a bunch of big boulders.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like there's homes around it.
I'm
That's
just
it.
surprised I never knew this.
I mean, I have my Instagram picture. If you scroll past it, you'll see my
There's a
car.
vlog.
Like,
There's a vlog.
I do
There
remember
you
the photo, but I didn't know like to the extent of this whole story.
That is amazing.
This shit happened.
You are an asshole, dude. That was awesome.
but we had a
Big
great time.
asshole.
Then we had a great time.
No.
I had a great time.
Like 4 or 5 hours.
It wasted like a long time.
Were you supposed to leave that day or was it in the middle of
No, we had just gotten
That's
there.
our first day. That's our
We
first
just
day.
got there.
I love the childhood wonderment and excitement of the idea of driving.
And I was like this the whole time with a fucking bitch face, like, don't do it, don't do it. And then he got stuck.
He probably didn't even get 30 seconds. It was hell yeah!
Literally.
It was like 10
Literally. That was it.
It was like 10 seconds.
He was like, oh shit, and then he'd go in reverse. And then it kicks and it just keeps sinking. I'm like,
and I turn over to look at her, and she's already like, I fucking told you, motherfucker.
That always sucks.
I used to have a really straight posture before I got with him. Now I'm a fucking question mark. Like,
You know it was fun. You knew when you opened the door, and you could see the dirt right there immediately.
no,
That's
I was
pretty awesome.
pissed because I'm like, I foresaw this shit.
Did you
I
ever
wanna
get out
know-
of the car and like dirty your own selves too?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
running around squishing the mud with me.
I want to know what exactly Nadim thought he was going to accomplish.
I don't know.
By jumping.
I was probably being nosy.
I see.
The funny thing is he didn't.
Okay.
He had to jump from the dock instead of just walking in and going, "Oh, this is muddy. I can't do this."
Right.
No,
Seeing the
it's
dog,
a trick
seeing the-
though.
It looks solid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
would
looks
think it looks
solid.
solid, and then there's certain spots where you press it, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is solid, and then there's some that you just sink.
You know,
It was
like,
tricky.
you ever like look at those like National Geographic pictures where like the sand dirt's all cracked?
Mm-hmm.
So there's parts of it where it looks dry and cracked, and then you step on it, it goes whoosh, and it goes right under because it's all mud. Because it's a former lake, so it's probably like 6.
I wonder where the fish go.
Dude, you're lucky you didn't just go all the way fucking in.
Damn.
How would you have gotten out?
Sure.
That would have been even a better vlog if the mud was to the windows.
Good title.
And then I would have to climb through the windows. That would have been awesome. I have to stand on top
I
of
would
my
have
car.
been so fucking pissed.
Then I'd be like, Nadim, take a picture of this.
Fucking thumbnail for that. Be like, I totaled my car.
Fucking thumbnail, go pose. This is it.
Yeah.